It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth a hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you. So nice to have you here today on the Science Bowl. Our science show here in the Prince George's Schools has been going for 34 years, and our students keep getting better and better. Play along today and test your own science IQ. Let's meet today's teams. First, from Allenwood Elementary School, would you please say hello to Melanie Vivanco, Jericho Neckpill, and Joy Parker. And from Phyllis E. Williams, here they are, Alistair Riley, Mackenzie Hampton, and Chase Gibson. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty, easier questions, 5 and 10 points. Tougher, 15, 20, 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 good-looking teams will come back to play Ridgecrest for the chance to move on to the semifinal eliminations. So we have a lot at stake here today. Let's check, make sure everything's working. Jericho, would you try the red team's buzzer? A-OK, sounding and looking. Good luck to you, Melanie, and to Joy. And Mackenzie, how about the green team? All right, they look like they're ready and raring to go as well. Good luck to you and to Chase and to Alistair. I just have to say, before we even ask any questions, can I congratulate you for being here today because your schools decided that you were elite students. You are the best of the best. So everybody wins, no matter what that final score is. And I admire your courage in doing this because this is not easy. But we're going to have a good time. We go alphabetically, A before P. So Allenwood, Jericho, let's go.
Green things for 10, please.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. You know, many animals, like birds, will disperse these, but rats and mice, they will bite into them so it doesn't let these things eventually germinate and begin to grow. Mackenzie.
Pass it to Chase.
Yeah.
Seeds.
Seeds, exactly right. Good. All right, go green. Good answer.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, if all you want for Christmas is your 2 front teeth, then you want Santa Claus to bring you a pair of these kind of teeth.
Incisors.
All right, Mackenzie.
Incisors.
Incisors. Yeah, you're missing your incisors there in the front. That's embarrassing. Yeah, come on, get me some fill-ins there. Okay, go green.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, in the Ice Age movies, the last animals to go extinct were the same animals that in real life are the birds on the island of Mauritius. Allenwood.
Dodo birds?
Dodo birds, that's right. Remember they were chasing that melon and they all fell off the cliff? Yeah, they weren't the brightest of birds. Go red.
Body systems for 10, please.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, children suffering from cystic fibrosis. It's a terrible disease. One of the symptoms is very salty sweat. The other is this substance building up in their lungs and their stomach, the same substance that we associate with a stuffed up nose and stuffed up sinuses. Phyllis E. Williams.
Mucus.
Mucus, that's right. Thank you, Alistair, for your help on that. Yeah, and there's a new treatment for that, which is great news for children and adults who have suffered from that for many years. Go again, green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade, 15 points. Teams, if you have a chemical called a rodenticide, you're using that chemical to do what? A rodenticide will be used to do what, Phyllis E. Williams?
Kill rodents.
Kill rodents. Specifically?
Rat.
Rats and mice, that's right, rodenticide. CID at the end, like insecticide, lets you know you're getting something to kill something, and you parse that word very nicely, Chase. Let's turn that green light off over on the Phyllis C. Williams side and let Mackenzie pick another one.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, the word auxin, A-U-X-I-N, is to plants what insulin is to the pancreas, meaning both of them, auxin and insulin, are what kind of H-initialed chemicals found in our bodies and in plant bodies. What kind of H-initialed chemicals, Jericho?
Hydrogen?
Not hydrogen, good try. Phyllis C. Williams, any idea? Insulin is a kind of what? An H-initialed chemical found in our bodies. Auxin is an H-initialed chemical found in plants. Correct answer is hormones. Hormones. Try again, green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. You know, when all food digestion is something called hydrolysis, meaning food absorbs this and then starts breaking down. Allenwood.
Water?
Water. That's it. Hydro was the clue there. Thank you, Joy, for your help. Go, Jericho.
Green things for 15, please.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, a lot of annual plants that live for just 1 year, can survive having their flowers and their leaves coated with this. But if there's a hard freeze, Allenwood?
Frost?
Frost, yes. A lot of plants can tolerate frost, but the deep freeze, the killing freeze does them in for the season. All right, 85 to 100. We got a good game going here. Go, red.
Let's get physical for 20, please.
Physical for 20 points. Teams, you know, if you put vegetables under the broiler, tomatoes or carrots or onions, after a while they turn a nice golden brown. That process where it starts to turn brown has what C initial name that sounds like, that is based on this chewy candy that you can eat. Phyllis C. Williams.
Caramel.
Alistair, what did you say?
Caramel.
Caramel, absolutely right. It's called to caramelize. Good. Go, green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Teams, if you're baking and you're baking bread, you need some carbon dioxide gas. And to get it, you use this fermenting fungus that you mix into the dough. What do you mix into the dough to get the CO2, to get the bread to rise, Allenwood?
Wheat?
Not wheat. Good try. What is that fermenting fungus that you put into the dough to get the carbon dioxide gas to get the bread to rise?
Yeast.
Yeast, that's it. Good. Good comeback. Go, green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, you know hummingbirds? Hummingbirds have beaks that are perfectly designed to get nectar out of flowers. Scientists now think that they are also hooked and sharp so they can use them as weapons. It's just a guess. But in scientific parlance, what do we call a guess? What do we call that, Allenwood?
Hypothesis?
That's it. Good answer, Jericho. It is indeed a hypothesis. And the buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round, and it is a good game. Allenwood 95, Phyllis C. Williams 135. We have more Science Bowl straight ahead, so we'll be right back. Thank you for joining us today on Science Bowl. Hope you're enjoying this game at home. We're having a lot of fun here in the studio. Before we ask any more science questions, let's find out about our players and their schools. Let's go first to Allenwood. And Jericho, nice to have you back again. Tell us about Allenwood. Who's your principal?
Miss Fabui.
And she is just the best, because I've worked with her in the past and I know how much she supports this team. And who is your coach?
Miss Williams and Mr. Ortiz.
They're both here today, and I know they work so hard. Thank you very much for all the work you did getting this team ready. You know, we did not see Allenwood for most of our 34 years, and because of the coaches that are there and your principal, you've been coming back on a regular basis. We really like having you here. Tell us something about Allenwood you think that everybody should know.
We have a subject called PLTW, and it stands for Project Lead the Way, and it's very fun. And this year, we have arts and science for PLTW.
Yes.
And last year we had just science.
Project Lead the Way. And so you have it at your school there, and I know you have great teachers there as well. Otherwise you wouldn't be here today because they have really prepared you well. Any alternates on your team, Jericho?
Zion.
Yes.
That's it.
He said, okay. And we'll bring him out in just a few moments here with your coaches. What do you want to do someday, Jericho?
I want to be an immigrational lawyer.
Yeah, you were talking to me about that before. What prompted that? Why were you motivated to do that?
So my parents and most of my family are from the Philippines, and I want to help other people coming from foreign countries to come into the United States.
And you know, that's an issue today, and that's what America was founded on. We're a nation of immigrants, and we need advocates. And you would be a good one, young man. Thanks for sharing that with us. Joy, nice to have you back again. Like Jericho, you were here before. You're a good player. What do you like about this show?
I like that it's hard.
So you're challenged, right?
Yeah.
And we need challenges in life. What do you do in your spare time, Joy?
I draw.
Yeah?
I also cook food for
Yeah.
my family.
What's your special? You have a specialty?
No.
No, that's all right. Sometimes if someone else is cooking for you, it makes no difference. They didn't have to do it and you did. What do you want to do someday?
I would like to own my own cafe.
Very nice. So that cooking will come in handy someday. Yeah. Melanie, first time on the show. Why'd you want to do this?
I guess because it sounded interesting, and since I wanted to learn more about science, because, well, science is interesting. You can learn new things, build new things, and a bunch of other things.
In fact, it's like the internet. You can never finish the internet. There's always more to explore. And science is the same way. Sometimes you think everything that could be discovered has been, and we've not even scratched the surface. What do you want to do someday, Melanie?
I want to be a veterinarian, but if I can't do that, then I'll probably be an engineer.
Because you told me before you like to build things, so that would make sense. Yeah. Do you have any pets at home, Melanie?
I used to have a fish, but it died.
Fish diet. Listen, I've had fish too. That's what they tend to do. Yeah. Nice to have you here. Phyllis E. Williams, Mackenzie, tell us the Phyllis E. Williams story. Who is your principal?
Dr. Barone,
Yes, indeed. Dr. Brown is out there. And who is the coach of your team?
Miss Lamont, and Miss Quinones.
And they're both here today, I believe. Is that correct?
No, Miss Quinones is not.
But Miss Lamont is here, yes, and she'll be out in a moment. And Wendy has been with Science Bowl for many, many years. And Wendy, we couldn't have brought Phyllis E. Williams here without your advocacy and your support. So thank you for doing all of that. And any alternates on your team, Mackenzie? First names.
Yes, Joy and Olive.
They'll be out in just a few moments' time here. Something you brag about when you tell people you go to P.E. Williams.
Something that I like to brag about is that our school, we're a Spanish immersion school, so we can learn 2 languages. So that can help us in the real world to help us get a job.
Absolutely right. And that's what it's all about. It's trying to find a career, get into a college so that you can realize whatever dreams you've got. You want them to come true. That's just great. Tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to draw and swim.
And swim, that's right. Swimming is a great exercise. You can do it all your life. You know, it's easy on the joints too. And professionally, what do you want to do?
I want to be an artist, like do animations.
Nice, nice, yeah. Because there's so many animated movies out there now, and they need artists out there. Welcome back, because you were a player before, as was Alistair. Alistair, tell us the Alistair story. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to do a lot of things, mostly just do karate or play video games.
Yeah, kid stuff, the things you should be doing now. And karate keeps you in shape. And what do you like about this show?
I like that it's kind of like Jeopardy, and I like to watch Jeopardy and game shows, and I thought it'd be nice to do Science Bowl.
Absolutely, you're a great player, a great addition to our team here. And professionally, someday?
I want to be an engineer.
Engineer, you'd be a good one, because I know you're a good math student as well. And Chase, you know a lot about science over there. How do you know so much science?
Well, my parents buy me a lot of books, and I tend to read them all in a day.
And you know, readers do real well on this show, and readers do real well in life. So keep that. That's a great habit. And what are we going to see you do someday, Chase?
I kind of want to be an inventor someday, because
Don't you want to go to Harvard? Didn't you tell me you want to go to Harvard?
Yes, I also want to go to Harvard.
Yeah.
My aunt went there. Wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it your aunt? Yeah.
I can't remember. My godmother. I'm sorry.
Very nice. Well, they will check the records, and certainly if someone in the family has been there before, that makes it that much easier for you to get in. Yeah. Make sure you drop her name. All right, let's get back to the game. P.E. Williams 135, Allenwood 95. Lots of points to give away. Red team, Jericho, go.
Let's get physical for 15, please.
Physical for 15 points. Teams when steam and gas and liquids come out of cracks in the earth and shoot up into the air like they do at Yellowstone National Park. What do we call those things, P.E. Williams?
Geysers.
Geysers, yeah, like Old Faithful. Yeah, go green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, Max Scherzer, the ace pitcher for the Washington Nationals. He was suffering back spasms during the playoffs, and they gave him a shot of cortisone to reduce the inflammation. Cortisone is what kind of S-initialed chemical that oftentimes is abused by weightlifters and bodybuilders? P.E. Williams.
Steroids.
Steroids is right. Thank you, Chase. Yes, a little too late on that one. Go green. Good answer.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, if you would, please. This is the beautiful Helix Nebula. And when astronomers look at this, they see a giant eye. I'll give you these points if you can tell me the two parts of the eye that you can see right there. All right, Phyllis C. Williams, Allenwood, talk among yourselves in case I have to come to you. What two eye parts can we see in that Helix Nebula that they say does look like an eye? Okay, Mackenzie. Chase, what you got?
Pupil and cornea.
Good try, very good try. Not quite. Allenwood, you can get these points if you can tell me the two parts of the eye you see in that nebula.
The iris and the pupil.
That's it. Good. Iris and pupil. Good. Go. Red.
Zoo parade for 20, please.
Zoo parade, 20 points. Another visual question. Look back to the monitor, if you would. Teams, these crustaceans that you see latched onto the side of a whale are B-initialed crustaceans. Allenwood?
Barnacles?
They are indeed barnacles, yes. If you're a SpongeBob fan, you remember Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Yeah. Tough to get them off. A very tough adhesive they have there. All right, 135, 170. We got a close game. Advantage red. Go.
Dateline signs for 15, please.
Dateline signs for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. You might say that Alexa and Siri are examples of AI. What is AI, Allenwood?
Artificial intelligence.
That is exactly right. Good. Go red.
Dateline signs for 20, please.
Dateline signs for 20 points. Get this, and we will have a tie game. Listen carefully. Neil deGrasse Tyson is the host of Cosmos. He is an astrophysicist, as was this man who wrote The Theory of Everything, suffered from ALS, and lived his whole life in a wheelchair. Name him. P.E. Williams. What you got?
Charles Darwin?
Not Charles Darwin. Good try. Allenwood, this famed astrophysicist, wrote a book called The Theory of Everything, suffered from ALS, and spent his life in a wheelchair.
I know.
It's on the tip of your tongue. It is Stephen J. Hawking. Stephen J. Hawking. Go again, red. Go red.
Science potpourri for 10, please.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, whether you call it corn syrup, lactose, dextrose, or molasses, bottom line, you're eating this. You're eating what, Allenwood?
Dairy?
What?
Dairy?
No, not dairy. Whether it's dextrose or lactose or molasses or corn syrup, it's all the same. You're eating this.
Sugar.
Sugar, that's exactly right. Good, go green.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, if you see an insect's chrysalis, like a butterfly or a moth chrysalis, what stage in metamorphosis are you looking at? What stage in the metamorphic life of an insect are you looking at if you're looking at a chrysalis? Green team. Big points.
Pass it to Chase.
Shedding?
Not shedding, no. What stage in metamorphosis is represented by that chrysalis that you see the butterfly or a moth forms?
The pupa?
Yes, that's exactly right. It's the pupal stage. Good, go red.
Let's get physical for 25, please.
Physical for 25. Big one in that category, teams. 5-part answer. Listen carefully. Here on Earth, when it is at night, the brightest objects in the sky other than the moon are these 5 planets. What 5 planets are the brightest objects in the sky other than the moon, when you're looking at night from the Earth?
Pass it to
All right,
Mommy.
Allenwood, you have an answer ready for me? I need, not in any particular order, give me the 5 objects.
Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus.
Not quite. Good try. Allenwood, the 5 brightest objects in the sky other than the moon In the night, when we're standing here on Earth, looking up.
Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, and Neptune.
Oh, you were so close. The last one was Venus. Venus, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Okay, go again, red. You are 5 points behind.
Green things for 5, please.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, the most famous of these green things was where Adam and Eve were. It was this. Yes,
The garden.
Mackenzie.
The garden.
The Garden of Eden. That's right. Good. All right, go.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, it was back in the late 1800s at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston that surgeons for the first time could put people to sleep during surgery. They used ether. Ether, the chemical that they used to put that person to sleep, is known as one of these kinds of chemicals. What is it called? Putting people to sleep. Allenwood.
Anesthesia.
Anesthesia, exactly right. Good. Go red.
Green things for 25, please.
Green things for 25. All right. Let's see if you know your chemical elements. To make sure that the soil in your garden or your front lawn has all the nutrients that it needs, make sure the fertilizer contains N, P, and K. What chemical elements are N, P, and K? All right. Phyllis C. Williams, you need these points. You're 15 points behind. Give me all three. Allenwood, be ready in case I come to you. N, P, and K. What you got?
Wait. No. Wait.
Don't be ringing in unless you have an idea. Allenwood, can you identify the chemicals N, P, and K that are good nutrients for soil?
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium is the K. Go again, red. Go.
Dateline science for 25, please.
Dateline science for 25 points. Teams, the quote was, all my life, when I looked at nature, I was reminded of the joy I felt as a child. So said this woman who won 2 Nobel Prizes, one in physics, one in chemistry. Phyllis C. Williams. Who is she? Allenwood, do you know who she is? It's Marie Curie. Go, red.
Science potpourri for 25, please.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, in the Peanuts comic strip yesterday, Peppermint Patty walked in and said to the teacher, my report today is on dinosaurs, and my dinosaur is bronchitis. It died because it coughed itself to death. She confused bronchitis with brontosaurus.
Wait.
Mackenzie? Nope. Allenwood? She confused bronchitis with brontosaurus. I will give you 25 points if you can spell brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus.
Oh, so close. Brontosaurus. Go again.
Let's get physical for 5, please.
Physical for 5 points. It's a joke. It's a joke. The kind of dog that a chemist would have would be this kind of retriever. Jericho.
Golden retriever?
No. If you're a chemist, you would most likely have this kind of dog as your dog. What kind of retriever?
Lab.
A lab. A laboratory retriever. Yes, go green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, Washington Nationals manager Davey Martinez, after he won the World Series and they had the parade in Washington, said, you know, I had problems with this cardiac organ, but this parade helped to cure them. Mackenzie?
Heart.
His heart. That's right. Good. Go.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, if you say something online and you cause a big ruckus among your friends, they say you just opened a can of these. Phyllis C. Williams.
Worms.
Worms. You've opened a can of worms. That's right. We have a tie score. We have 2 questions left. Go green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, the Great Chicago Fire back in 1871 was thought to have been caused by this bovine owned by Mrs. O'Leary. Yes, Phyllis C. Williams.
Cow.
A cow. Mrs. O'Leary's cow. Absolutely right. The buzzer says with the cow, it looks like Phyllis C. Williams has won everything. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. If there was ever a nail biter, this was it. Two evenly matched teams. It was going back and forth and back and forth. So evenly matched, just like a tennis match. We are so proud of all of our players. All of you, give yourselves a hand. What a day, what a day. Our final tally is Allenwood 200, Phyllis E. Williams, Mrs. O'Leary's cow. She did it for you. 205, Alistair, Mackenzie, and Chase. Congratulations, and Olive and Joy, and Miss Wendy Lamont. Congratulations. We will see you against Ridgecrest in just a few moments' time here in our next show. And Allenwood, give yourselves another round of applause. Melanie and Jericho and Joy. Miss Williams is back there. Mr. Ortiz, I know how proud you're all in red over there. And David is there. These supporters, David and Derek and Kier. Zine is back there as the alternate. And of course, the people of the hour, Melanie, Jericho, and Joy. Congratulations to all you guys. Thank you for watching today. Hope to see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye.